How we doing, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I just wanted to chat with you about the new film that just got released, Dungeons and Dragons. So I was, like everybody else, I was very hesitant to go into this film because it looked like the Marvel type of scenario where everything was kind of jokey and nothing was taken seriously. There was very little character development. So, I mean, that's kind of what I went into the theater thinking about. However, I was very excited to see the film. Even on the day, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go to the movies and see this adventure. And that's what I was kind of hoping I was going to get. But my expectations were low. But I just went in there to have some fun, and that's exactly what we got. I think the consensus between anybody who's seen this film is it's just fun. It's a fun movie. Don't think about it too hard, or else you'll find some plot holes. But overall, I think everybody just had a really good time in this film. Nobody left the theater kind of wanting. It's just a good time, which is, it's a hard thing to come to nowadays because of all of the identity politics and things that are getting thrown in. And I know that the directors / writer / producer, I think they did everything, went on record and said, we love to emasculate our male characters. We want to chop their dicks off and throw them in the garbage. And I think everybody had a really, really, really hard time with that interview that they gave. And I think that's one of the reasons why expectations were so low, is that they opened their mouths and I don't think they realized what they said. So everybody was like, oh, rolling eyes, another one, with, the writers trying to stick their identity politics into the film. But I got to say that I don't know why they said that, because it just wasn't the case. I didn't find it was the case anyway. I mean, yes, them as a group, were, they were kind of mismatched and low quality. I guess as an adventuring team, they were just low quality, and so they were kind of always messing up and things to that effect. But the females, I think that the female characters were more adept to what they were doing than the men. Okay, so if you could say that. But I think with that being said, the male characters had more arcs than the females. So I prefer to have a character that is a bumbling idiot that has an arc where he becomes not a bumbling idiot and learns how to become more adept and more of a hero than, a person that starts out being the kick-ass character with the smaller or no arc. So if that's the case, I'll take that one over the other any day. So thankfully, the male characters, I thought there was good development with them, so I didn't mind them being the bumbling idiots of the group. So it was written and directed. I think you'll at least know one of these guys. If you're a fan of Bones, and that's John Francis Daly. So John Francis Daly was originally on Bones, and he's an actor as well as a writer. In fact, he left Bones to become a writer. And he's done Horrible Bosses. I think he actually wrote one episode of Bones. He wrote Spider-Man Homecoming. So, they know how to write. And that was his whole thing, is that he left to really kind of elevate himself above the acting, and I think he accomplished that. And then his writing partner, Jonathan Goldstein, also did Game Night. So, these guys have some credits behind them. And I think that I think overall the movie had some good plot associations with it. I mean, of course, when you go into the film, you know exactly how it's going to end. But Chris Pine's character, who's the leader of the group, who does not have any special abilities whatsoever, and I think they made a mistake with that because the bard in, I don't know if you guys have watched the, I think it's the Amazon show, 20, whatever it is, Critical Role, with their Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And it's not really it's not called Dungeons and Dragons, but it's Critical Role. And they're the ones behind it. And their bard had a lot of special abilities, and I think that they could have used some magical abilities with him, along with his music. So he would play the music and then, have abilities through that. And I think they could have done something like that with Chris Pine's character, but they purposely made him a nobody, where he had no abilities, no nothing. And I think that made him almost a little bit useless to the team. Even in the trailer, he says, "Well, I make plans. The plans," and then the druid says, "So you make plans that fail." Well, then I make new plans. So I think a lot of the humor fell, not flat, but actually succeeded in what it was going for. I didn't roll my eyes at any of the jokes going, "Ay," like I did with some of the Marvel stuff. And so I think each one of the jokes did land when they landed. And the beginning is kind of a big info dump, which was a little tedious. But each one of the characters has their own motivation. You understand them, and you feel for them. So by the end, so we have Chris Pine's daughter, who's been like in everything. But I think they should have developed her a little more. I know it was already over 2 hours, so adding another scene in there with some of the heist that the girl went in on, I think that would have elongated the time for no reason. But even if I got like a little 5-minute scene of them doing the heist where the girl did something, I think that would have helped. So now, as far as the cast is concerned, you got Chris Pine, who has incredible a demeanor for film. He engrosses the audience. Even when I saw him on stage, he has a way of engrossing audience. Whether he's done Star Trek or whether he was in Wonder Woman, he has that charm. So he's fun to watch. So with that alone, he can carry a film. There's no doubt. So then, of course, you have Michelle Rodriguez. And, mostly she's known for Fast and the Furious. And she had a part in Avatar as well. So, so those two. And then we have, if I can move this over. Okay, Sophie Lilly, who plays the druid. She's cut all her hair off now. So she looks not as pretty as she does in the film. But she's from It and It Chapter 2. So she was the rest. She hasn't done much, but she's very good. In fact, she was my favorite character in there because of her power set. But again, I would have liked to have seen more of her background, or at least learned a little bit more of her background, which we don't get. And then Hugh Grant, always good, always snarky. In fact, this is the second movie I saw him in. That operation thing that was almost like a Mission Impossible. He was good in that too. Yeah, he's always good, but he kind of has that one note thing going on though. So he worked in this, and he worked in the other movie too. So, but he was pretty much playing the same character. That's the funny part. Daisy Head, who plays the villain. Okay, so let's talk about the villain for a second. So she is the Red Witch, and we learn very little about the villain. We see that she's kind of an acolyte, but we have no idea about her past at all. Nothing. She's motivated purely because she's a bad guy. And I would have liked to have seen just a little bit more about her as well. Again, we had that running time issue. But those are the two characters that I would have liked to see more. Because even Michelle Rodriguez's character had her own arc as well. We learned about her past. In fact, there's a cameo in with her as well, with her storyline, which I thought was very funny. Because we had no idea that that person was going to be in the film at all. And it's like a surprise cameo. Daisy Head was also in, who plays the villain, who was also in Underworld. She was in the latest Underworld film as well. So here she's bald. She's a very pretty girl. And then now she's no hair at all. She was like just evil for evil's sake, though. Again, I would have liked to have learned just a little bit more about her. And then we had the guy who played the Paladin. So he came in and came out. So he wasn't in the film very long, but for the time he was in there, I thought he stole his scenes. Even on top of Chris Pine, he stole his scenes. He did a great, great job. And his fight scenes were really good. I don't think I've seen the actor before. Reggae Gene Page. I don't know if I've seen him before, but he was very good. In fact, I would have liked to have seen him continue in his part. I guess he's from Bridgerton. Okay, I haven't seen that show, but he's also in Gray Man. Okay, I don't remember him in Gray Man. I definitely saw that, but I didn't see the other one. So I may have to watch that now because I'm a little bit of a fan of him. I thought his acting was very good. I thought his the choices that he made for his character, I thought were very good. And then we have Justice Smith, who I really only know from the Jurassic World. Sorry, the Jurassic World. They were in. He was in. I think he was in all of them. Definitely, no, he wasn't. He wasn't in the first one, but the second and the third one he was in. And again, he's kind of typecast too as the bumbling idiot, the fraidy cat, and stuff to that effect. And also, I don't know if you guys, my older viewers will know about the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon back in the 70s. And so I think it was the 80s. It may have been early 80s. Anyway, they make an appearance in here, but unless you're looking for them, you won't see them. In fact, I'll put a picture up so you can see it. I always point the wrong direction over here. And so they make an appearance, and I was excited to see that. I'm like, oh my God, look! But anybody else watching it, unless you know the cartoon, you're not going to realize they're there. But overall, I really enjoyed the film. Yes, it could have been better. It definitely, I think if they have done another rewrite, I think it could have been better. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. It was a fun movie. It was energetic. You cared about the characters by the end. I love the fact that the plans that they made did screw up from time to time. And it's all. I looked at what it made this for this weekend, and it's not doing that great. Because Dungeons & Dragons is owned by Hasbro, and it's done by E1, and E1 is owned by Hasbro. I think they're actually going to sell it, because Hasbro's not doing very well right now. In fact, they kind of scared away a lot of D&D players because they were changing the game license. It was a whole thing, and tried to extract more money from their players, and it kind of backfired in their face. So anyway, I think everybody else that I've heard giving reviews was about a 7 out of 10, and I'm going to echo that. I'm going to echo that to 7.5. out of 10. It was way above average, but it wasn't a great movie by anything. But if you're going to the movies to enjoy yourself, it's definitely a good film to go see if you like the adventure genre. It's not a Game of Thrones. It's not a Lord of the Rings, where it's taken itself very seriously. It's not. It's just a little adventure movie with a cast that has some good chemistry. I mean, I was surprised that Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine had the chemistry they had, because I don't think they've ever acted before together. And they really were able to jive off one another. I was pleasantly surprised with that. So anyway, so definitely go see it. Support them, because they're only at, I think, 70 million worldwide, and I think it was 100 million and change budget, which means they need to do like 250 million. John Wick is going, I think they're already in the black. That and Scream is already in the black, but these guys have a long road. I hope it picks up internationally and we can get another one. I'd like to see this team back again. Anyway, that's all from me, and let me know if you've seen it and what you think of it, and if you enjoyed it or not, and if not, why. Also, I did order I just got back from Atlanta. I went, I'm thinking about moving out to Atlanta for the film industry out there. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing that, and I'm dreading the whole thing. Look how much crap I got. Moving is going to be a bitch. But I'm waiting for the books for Tales of Ravner to come in, so I can approve them and go right to print. The Lord stuff, we're almost done with issue 3, so I'm going to probably be launching that soon. I'm going to be launching a campaign in 2 weeks for the Destiny Aurora audiobook. I'm excited to see what everybody thinks of that. So the campaign has already been approved by Kickstarter. I'm just waiting for the video to get done and figure out some of my marketing. In fact, I think Wes from Thinking Critical, in fact, I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. If you follow, if you're like comics, then you do probably want to follow him. Anyway, that's it from me, guys, and have a great week, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Remember to like, subscribe, and all the YouTube stuff. All right. Bye-bye.